Boo! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning, I wanna turn on this. Becky quick. While the average man looking at it's sad like she fine as yeah. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like yeah, 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot keys. Strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater. Batman pajamas, outside, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thought, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs, making profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call it short squeeze. You get the drop, she pull the trigger and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. and I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them games, make profits. While I'm still in my same making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, you. What's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the first trading day of 2025. And what a day it was. A beautiful green day inside of True Trading Group. Lots of different trades, some triple-digit bangers to start off the new year. We rounded out and said goodbye to 2024 with a huge month, and then we welcomed 2025 with another banger of a day. Is it an omen of what is to come? I believe so, because I expect 2025 to be a banner year for True Trading Group, for myself, and for the entire community. Welcome, folks. My name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. In case you guys did not know, we were the recipient of the Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool in 2024. There is the award right there. We're looking real nice and fancy. Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. My business partner and I in New York City in November. There we are, right on stage, accepting that award. So industry leaders are taking note of what it is that we are doing within True Trading Group and with integrating AI technology into the TTG platform to allow our members to have a much higher chance of success, higher success rates, higher profitability, higher consistency, and of course, simpler. Make it easier for them to make better decisions, give them analysis that can put them in better trades and help them develop trading game plans and stop losses and profit targets and everything else. So there you guys have that. But TTD is not just about awards. We are also the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, individual mentorship on stocks, options, crypto, and even futures. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing. There is literally something for everybody here, guys, at True Trading Group. Now, if you're wondering who I am and why you should listen to anything it is that I discuss on this channel, it's not because I think that I'm the world's greatest trader. It's because I did not figure this stuff out on my own. I was trained by professionals on Wall Street right out of college. My very first job working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. They had me go through a training program before they let me touch a dollar of the fund's money. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash, but also the same year I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you can fast forward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, and along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and over 30-person staff, we have helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. We have 10,000 members in 115 different countries, truly a global community here at TTG. So if you guys are new, or if you're just ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you guys have come to the right place. We go live on this YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, show some love, turn on your notifications, make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams. We're dropping golden nuggets on a regular basis. I share with you guys trades that I am in, trades that I'm getting into. I go over with you guys not just what happened in the markets today, but what I believe is going to happen in the markets the next day, the next week, the next month, and for many months to come. I stick my neck out there. I stick my neck on the line. I tell you guys exactly what I think is going to happen. I'm not going to be right all the time, but I'm right a hell of a lot more than I'm wrong. The moderators and I have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of just around 80% now, going on roughly the last 5 years. We give you guys an upload right from our brokerage accounts onto the TTG website. Every single transaction that we make, every buy, every sell, every take profit, every stop out, every green, red, break even trade is all there, factored in for all of you guys to see. So again, smash that like button, show some love, and subscribe if you guys are not yet done so. Make sure you never miss out on any one of these live streams. So we welcome 2025, first trading day of the year. It is a red day of the year, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. The first day of the year is actually a red day. I welcome 2025 with a cold. I could barely even hear myself. My ears are totally clogged. I got a box of tissues sitting next to me. Hopefully I don't have to use them during the live stream. But I welcome it with a cold, but I also welcome it with a nice green day. A nice green day for us inside of True Trading Group. And what we're going to do here today is we're going to talk about what we saw in the markets, because our analysis in the SPY today was absolutely picture perfect, spot on. It enabled our members to capitalize on triple digit gains on put options in the early morning, and then able to catch and capitalize on a bounce back on the long side in the afternoon. So we got some members inside True Trading Group and some moderators that trade 0 DTE SPY options. And then we also have futures trading mods as well. So again, like I said, we trade options, we trade futures, we trade equities, we do it all. There's myself and 8 other professional full-time trading mods that share their screen with you. They're live on the microphone talking to you throughout the trading day, sharing their analysis and ideas, answering questions, and of course, sending out trade alerts when their orders execute, when they're in and out of their positions. So you guys are able to follow along with everything that we do inside of TTG. And I don't expect you to sit in front of a computer screen all day, every day. 82% of our 10,000 members have a full-time job. So if they can do this, so can you. Okay. We have a mobile app that lets you guys download on iPhone or Android that lets you stay connected to our chat room, even if you are not in front of your computer. Okay, so this way you can get real-time push notifications when our mods send out their trade alerts, when our orders execute. You guys get a real-time push notification on your phone to let you know what we're in and what we're getting out of. That way you're able to follow along with everything that we're doing. Okay, so today, the analysis on the overall markets was perfect. We came into the day today, and I don't have you guys obviously are not part of, if you're not a member of True Trading Group, then obviously you are unaware of this game plan. But all of my members that are here with me on the live stream, you guys are all here, and obviously we're well aware of the analysis coming into the trading session. And what we talked about in the pre-market, which is what we do every single day. Every single day we come out of the pre-market session, we tell you, this is what I think is going to happen today. The moderators and I give you our detailed watch list, exact list of stocks that we're focused on with entry and exit prices, as well as overall market analysis of what we believe that the overall indexes are going to do for that day. Today was very straightforward. Today was looking to retest a major support level, because there was enough technical breakdown in the final 2 weeks of December. There was enough momentum that got sucked out of the market that I did not believe that we were just going to start to run right back to the upside with a strong green day today. I think that some major support levels would need to be retested now that momentum has been sucked out of the market, and that momentum got sucked out on 2 Wednesdays ago when you had the Fed meeting, and then got sucked out the last week of the year when there was the lack of the Santa Claus rally and you had the sell-off and a little bit of a pullback going into the end of the year. We finished on a red note. 2024 we did, but we still finished up on the year 23.5% on the S&P, which is a phenomenal year by any metric. It allowed our long-term portfolios to reach all-time record highs. And we are coming into 2025 expecting some more volatility. I do believe that we're going to have a correction at some point this year. I expect the stock markets to go down by 10% or more at some point in 2025, but I'm going to use that correction. If I'm right about it, I'm going to use it as a phenomenal buying opportunity to grab some of the stocks that we love the most, to grab some of the stocks that are going to be leading the way in the next technological revolution, which is the AI boom that we are going to be seeing. I think it's going to be as impactful or comparable to as impactful of a technological revolution as when the internet was first created. When the internet was first created, you went from a technology that nobody knew anything about to, within a very short period of time, a technology that was integrated into every single aspect of your daily life. AI technology reminds me a lot like that. A technology that nobody really knew anything about, and that within a very short period of time is going to be integrated into every single aspect of your daily life. And I believe that over the next 10 years, we're going to see that technological revolution. And I think that these companies that are at the forefront of that are going to stand to benefit, and they're going to multiply in value and size and profitability and productivity and everything else. So I'm very excited about what is to come over the next 10 years. When you look at it from a technology standpoint, I'm going to use any type of pullback or correction as a buying opportunity. My members in TTG will know exactly, what those stocks are that we're buying and when we're buying them. Because like I said, we do cover long-term portfolio investing as well in TTG. It's not just day trades and swing trades. All right. So you guys will be getting all that information, obviously, as members. But I had to go back. I digress. I go back to the overall market. We came in today saying that we believe that here was a nice resistance level. I'll take you to a 15-minute chart. This is a daily chart. I'll take you to a 15-minute chart so we can take a little bit of a closer look. And we had a real nice level here. Okay. We have a real nice level here. And this is what we were identifying, that you had your support on December 27th, and then it was resistance on the 30th. And then it was also resistance on the 31st. We said that we expect that to be resistance yet again today. And of course, we popped up right into that level. And once again, yes, we were resistance. That's right off the pre-market game plan and pre-market analysis. And it was also the 50-day moving average and the 9 EMA and the daily chart. So I take you to the daily chart. This dark blue line is the 50-day. The teal blue line is the 9 EMA. And you can see they crossed over 9 EMA to the downside. And that also adds to the resistance level up there in the low 590s. So that's why we said low 590s resistance. Let's look for that to be resistance and then drop down into your major support level to retest that area before the markets try to make a move higher. Now, when we identify that major support level, what you have to look at is that's the low of the day on December 20th, when you had the PCE inflation data that came in lighter than expected. And that gave everybody a big sigh of relief after the Jerome Powell 2 days prior told us that inflation is going to be higher than we thought next year, and they're not going to cut rates as much as they thought next year and the year after that. And that's why the markets really had the momentum really sucked out of them on that Fed day. So I felt we were going to drop back down and retest that level. And also you have the 100-day moving average, this purple line you see on my screen, that was lining up in that spot as well. And that was a nice area of support the last time that moving average was tested. Nice little double bottom there in the month of September. So I felt like that was a good spot of support. So the analysis coming into the day today was resistance 591 to 592. High of the day was 591.13. And then pull back in and retest the support level in the low 580s. Low of the day today, 580.50. And then try to bounce. And that is exactly what transpired today. Big shout out to Diane. I see Diane is here on the live as always. Diane, very nice job today. Diane was able to capitalize on some SPY put options. This drop right here, we're all over it inside of True Trading Group. And it all predicated off of the rejection off of the resistance level that we identified. Once you rejected off of that level and went to make the fresh new low of the day, a sign that momentum had shifted, and then resistance here at VWAP with a little bit of I don't really call this triple top because it's such a small time frame, but in intraday, you can see 1, 2, 3 rollover, and then you had this nice drop right into the key support. And then Diane and a bunch of members taking profits off into that level as the support zone then starts to be reached. And then you guys can see the buying pressure that steps in at the support level. This is not a coincidence that you're bouncing off of this line. This line is here because it was the low from the 20th, and that was a catalyst day with the PCE inflation data, and the 100-day moving average sits right underneath it. So it was a very nice trade. It dropped right into support, and then profit, and then the long. The long came in here, guys, then on the nice little bounce off of that area. And in the futures room, a bunch of people caught that move to the long. A lot of different ways you guys can make money with True Trading Group on any given day. A lot of different ways. Whether you trade stocks or equities, whether you trade stocks or options or futures, there really truly is something for everybody here at TTG. And that's why it's important for you to understand it's not just me. There's 8 other moderators in TTG. We all have our own styles. We all trade our own different ways. There's day trades and swing trades called out every single day. So have no fear. You guys will have chances to make money on a daily basis with us inside of True Trading Group. Okay. And that is exactly what members are able to accomplish. This is exactly what members are able to do. And I don't just think that to be the case. It's true because members say it so, and I'll prove it to you. Members of True Trading Group right now that are on this live stream, do me a favor. Type the number 1 if you are making money, if you are becoming better traders with True Trading Group. Type the number 1 inside of chat right now. Go ahead. Type the number 1 inside chat right now if you guys are making money. Excuse me while I drink my tea. If you're not a member, pay very close attention to how many people you see type the number 1. See, I almost wasn't going to do a live stream today because I feel so crappy, but we have something so incredible that I have to show you that I don't care if I had 102-degree fever. I was still coming on here to show you guys what we have to show you. A new feature within the AI tool inside of True Trading Group, our award-winning AI. Our award-winning AI. Yes, we can say that now. How many companies can say that they have an award-winning AI? I don't think there's many. We can. Ben Zinga FinTech Chairman's Award of 2024. So we have something so incredible that I wanted to show you guys that is just going to absolutely knock your socks off. I personally have never seen anything like it. I don't know of any other company, platform, resource, tool, program. I don't know of anything that exists currently on the market that can do what it is that I want to show you. So we're here today on this live stream, not just to talk about, the first trading day of 2025. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think happens tomorrow, give you some trade ideas I'm looking at on how I plan on making money tomorrow, but also talk about some ideas for 2025. And of course, show you this incredible capability or tool and resource that Adam and the development team have been able to perfect. It truly is unbelievable. Now, I'm telling you going into 2025 that I believe 2025 is going to be a banner year for True Trading Group. And there's a lot of different reasons that I say that. Well, one, members are already making money. You saw that for yourself firsthand. You saw how many people just typed the number 1 when I asked them, hey, if you're making money, just comment in chat right now. I always think it's best whenever we have these conversations, especially when there's someone that's on the live stream that's just a viewer and they're not yet a member. You obviously want to know, oh, maybe should I join True Trading Group? Is it for me? Do I think I'm actually going to make money? There's a reason why I don't come on here and just boast about this is how much money I made today. Because just because I make money doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to benefit you, because none of the dollars that I make are going to go towards paying your bills. What matters most is if our members are able to make money from what it is that the moderators and I do on a daily basis and what the platform provides, the tools and resources they have access to, the questions that are answered, the trade alerts that are given, the analysis that's provided, the mentorship that they can receive. Does that translate into profitability for them? That's what matters the most. And that's why I like to ask members to answer those type of questions. Because I think it's better for you as a viewer to see for yourself what members are actually saying, what members are accomplishing, rather than just listening to what I say. Listen to what I say when I'm talking about analysis and trade ideas and charts and everything else. But when it comes to the success of the platform, don't listen to me, listen to members, because they're the ones that are in your shoes, right? They're the ones that once were in your shoes, I should say. And they are where you are potentially considering going by becoming a member. So I think it's always best for you guys to listen to what members have to say about that kind of stuff. But I'm excited about 2025 because obviously members are already having they're already making money. But in 2025, with the development and the continued development and integration of our AI tool, my account went up over 300% today alone. Rick Goff. I thought it was Rick Golf. I was going to say, I like you already, Rick. But Rick Goff, cousin of the quarterback. No, he's not, spelled differently. Account up 300% today alone. That's incredible. I'm sure, Rick, I'm willing to bet, Rick, that had to do with the SPY put options today. Am I correct on that one, Rick? If I took a flyer out there, did your account go up 300% today because of the put options on the SPY? That's going to be my guess, because those are some fantastic trades. Yes, there it is. I knew it. How did I know that, Rick? How did I know? I'm psychic. No, I'm not. I just know where people made money today. I know the analysis. I know the trade alerts that were sent out. I know that you guys could have made triple-digit gains just today alone. What a way to start the new year. How about starting off the new year with triple-digit gains? I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that, right? Can't ask for anything more than that. And Gio, thank you, Gio. Yes, Gio, another one of our moderators. Gio actually makes me look like a kindergartner, because I've been doing this for 18 years. Gio's been doing this for nearly 30 years. Nearly 30 years. He's a former market maker and is now a moderator at True Trading Group, and he trades the zero DTEs, as well does Diane. Diane also trades the zero DTEs. And you guys had some really, really, really great trades today. So congrats on that one. But like I said, 2025, the reason why I'm so excited for it, my biggest trading day all year. Well, Peter, it's the first day of the year. Yes, today was the biggest day of the year. Yes, today was the biggest day of the year. Look at Jaira Rafa says, I got triple digit gains today, almost quadruple digit gains. That is impressive. There's my boy Gio. Gio, what's up, brother? And Gio says, and I'm only 35 years old. He is. He's only 35 years young. Do you guys believe I'm going to be 40 this year? Can you believe it? I'm going to be 40. I'm going to be 40 in April. We got to do something special in True Trading Group. What are we going to do? I don't know yet. We're going to do something special, though, for my 40th birthday. I'm not sure what, but I'll think about it. I have a couple of months. I got 4 months to figure it out. We're going to figure it out, but we're going to do something real special for my 40th. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. What we've integrated with the AI tool, right? What we've integrated with the AI tool, the capabilities that won us the award, right? Again, remember, Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award. Joe, pulling it up one more time in case they missed it at the very beginning. I want you guys to take a look and see it. There it is. That's my business partner and I on stage at the Benzinga FinTech Award ceremony in November, receiving that award for the best AI analysis tool. All right, there it is. What we've been able to accomplish with that tool and the way that that tool has helped our members make money in 2024, the capabilities of the tool are only getting better as we continue to develop and the technology continues to improve. The AI is getting smarter. The AI is getting faster. The AI, you can speak to our AI tool in complete natural language. You don't need to memorize any complex prompts. You can literally just have a conversation with it, and it will understand everything that you were saying. You don't have to speak certain jargon or, know certain words or certain prompts. Then if you don't put in the right prompt, you get the wrong response. You literally can just talk to it the way that I'm talking to you right now, the way you would just have a conversation with it with anybody else. Complete, total natural language. And you couple that with some tools and data feeds that we've received through the NASDAQ, as we signed a data partnership agreement with the NASDAQ. They just actually invited us just last month down to the NASDAQ. My business partner and I, we got a tour of the NASDAQ. We were invited to participate in the closing bell ceremony, which was a lot of fun. So we got to see that. And they also congratulated us with they put our company name and logo on the big screen in Times Square saying congratulations to True Trading Group. And that was a lot of fun. There you guys have it. There it is right there. So there's our name and logo on the screen in Times Square. And then I think we have another picture. My business partner and I actually at the NASDAQ or on the NASDAQ. Yep, there we are at the closing bell of the NASDAQ with our company name and logo. So that was a lot of fun. But we are getting now data feeds that only professionals, Bloomberg terminals, and hedge funds have access to. And we are going to be able to take that information and integrating that data into our AI in order to provide our members with actionable information that gives them a clear, undeniable edge over other retail traders. This is why I think that 2025 is going to be the best year ever for members in TTG, because we are. Wow, Reggie, I am so incredibly proud of you, brother. $500 account, risk is $50. 6 trading days, 10 total trades. I'm up 99.2% thanks to Diane's boot camp and one-on-one. 2 losing trades total out of 10. It's an 80% win rate with 0 losing days. Reggie, brother, I mean this sincerely. Reggie's been with us for a little while, And it's no secret. Reggie's very open about it. Reggie struggled at first. And Reggie, I commend you, brother, for not giving up. I know that, you had a couple rough patches and you stuck with it and you were able to turn things around. And now on a $500 account, you are up 99.2%. Incredible. I'm so proud of you, man. I really am. I was not expecting that message. So props to you. Reggie's been a member since 2020, if I'm not mistaken, Reggie, right? Reggie's been a member since 2020. Really great dude. Reggie, I'm so happy for you, man. I really am. But this is what I'm talking about, right? The combination of myself and the other moderators sending out trade alerts, providing commentary and analysis. You couple that with our award-winning AI tool that's going to also give you analysis, but also give you actionable information and game plans, plus institutional data feeds that we're getting directly from the exchanges that retail traders typically don't have access to. I have to sneeze. This is going to suck. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sick, and I'm trying not to blow my nose or sneeze while I'm with you guys here. But one of them might slip out. So one of them might slip out. What was I saying? Yeah. So that's going to give our members a clear-cut advantage in 2025. So people say, they're like, oh, it's not an even playing field, right? And it's really not. If all you have is a Robinhood account and a Reddit account, and you think that you have the same chance and you think it's an even playing field with the hedge fund trader that's sitting in Connecticut or New York City, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You literally, it's not just about, oh, they have more money. They literally have information that you don't. There's literally other data feeds that you don't have access to as a retail trader on your Charles Schwab account or on your Webull account. You don't have it. There's pieces of the puzzle you don't have. Now, we do. See, now we do have those same pieces that the hedge fund trader in Connecticut and the hedge fund trader in New York City have. And you add all that together with a group of moderators that already have a dominating win rate, already helping our members become successful, already seeing our members profitable, and you couple that with an award-winning AI tool, you're starting to see why I'm so excited about this year. You're starting to see why I think this is going to be the biggest year for a True Trading Group and the biggest year for our members. And when I say biggest year, I literally mean I think people are going to make the most money that they've ever made. It's exactly what I'm referring to. That's what I'm referring to. So this is why I'm so excited. And I'll take it back on over to the charts from there because, and again, the reason why we're here tonight, I want to just remind you guys, we have a new feature on the AI tool that we're going to show you tonight. So it's something that I've never seen before. I don't know of any platform that has this capability. And I welcome anybody, if you know anywhere else that has this ability, you guys can let me know. But I've been doing this for 18 years and I haven't seen anything that exists in the marketplace that would allow a trader to do what it is that we're about to show you here in just a little while. But before we get into that, let's go back over to the charts. Let's talk about what we think the markets are going to do tomorrow. All right, let's talk about what we think the markets are going to do tomorrow. So today, we did exactly what we had anticipated, which was to drop back down into that key support level, tested and bounce. Now, what I think you're going to see happen now is I think you're going to see the markets try to bounce tomorrow. I think you're going to see the markets try to move back higher, and you might get a candle that looks something like this. Okay? I think you're going to see us push back into the high 580s tomorrow, and you're going to get a candle that looks something like this. Okay? So I think we're going to try to move back into this range because prior to today's little pullback, you've had this 3-day prior to us breaking that low, you had this little consolidation range. See this little consolidation range? You pierced it early today and then bounced back and closed back inside of it. And now we've pushed a little bit higher in the after hours session as well. But I think that what you're going to see tomorrow, you're going to see us again trade right inside of that range. Okay, so I'm expecting some action that looks something like this. We got some data coming out tomorrow. You got earnings that are going to be coming up pretty soon. The bank's going to kick off earnings for Q4, and that's going to be something that's really going to set the tone for the month of January. But I do think you're going to see us come back inside of that range tomorrow. So out of the gate, I'm going to be looking at some possible longs. A couple of stocks that I do like for the long. I am teeing up Meta. I think Meta did a really nice job today of showing its true colors, because today the markets were red today, and we were decisively red in the middle of the day when we were able to capitalize on the triple digit puts to the downside. And Meta never went red. Meta never even made a new low of the day. So here's the prior day's close. So that's the green to red move. But it never happened. And there's the intraday low. So the low of the day was put in there at 9:50 in the morning. And you never even broke that low in the middle of the day. So there's that 12:30 sell-off, right? Here, if I go back to the SPY, there's that 12:30 sell-off. You see how we broke the low of the day and it went red? Same thing with the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ broke the low of the day and then went red. But when you take a look at Meta didn't even break the low of the day. Meta never went red. So that showed me that there was real strength there on Meta. And then Meta bounces into the close. Okay, so what I'm seeing here from Meta is I like Meta to trade a little bit higher tomorrow. I think Meta should at least get to 608. And I'm looking at 608 because of this resistance here on the 19th. And then I'm looking at this resistance here on the 24th, and right there on the 24th. So there's your resistance on the 19th. There's your resistance on the 24th. And what I'm looking for tomorrow out of Meta, and this is just one trade idea that I'm just going to share with you guys for tomorrow, is if we gap up tomorrow, look for pullbacks into 600 to be support, and then look for us to push higher and try to get up towards that 608. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for here from Meta tomorrow. I kind of like Meta for the long, especially if we wake up tomorrow and we have a nice little gap up. All right, I'm looking for Meta. I actually think that Meta has room to the upside. I think that, Meta, when you take a look at Meta only trades at 23 times earnings. And that's low, considering that most of your mega cap tech names are in the 30s, and the S&P in by itself, just the S&P is at 22 times. So for a company like Meta that has the type of growth that Meta could potentially have, and the way that Meta is one of the leaders in the AI space, for Meta to be trading at a 23 times multiple, in my opinion, that's cheap. I think that's cheap. You can compare that to Tesla. It's trading at 130 times. I think that is cheap. Two of the Mag 7 stocks that I like the most for 2025 are Amazon and Meta. Amazon and Meta are two of the Mag 7 stocks I like the most. I actually think you have I actually think there's a risk of a pullback in NVIDIA this year. I think that we could see a significant pullback in NVIDIA, not a crash, but I think you can see a significant pullback in NVIDIA. I actually think that NVIDIA is going to get back down into this range in 2025. I think there's a beautiful support level down here in the mid 90s. And I don't know if we get all the way to the mid 90s, but I do think that's more likely. So if you ask me, is it more likely that NVIDIA is here before it is here? And I'm going to tell you, yeah. I think it's more likely you see NVIDIA down here at some point this year before you see NVIDIA at 165, 170. So I think you're going to see like a pullback into this region. I do. And then, if all your major moving average, give them a chance to catch up, right? On your weekly charts, you can see how far away the stock is from its major moving averages on the weekly chart. And I just think that by the time this 100-day moving average catches up, to 95, that gives the stock time to pull back, reset, and give you a new support level, and then that becomes a buy zone. So I do think that there's a pullback coming in semiconductors and NVIDIA in 2025. So I like Meta. I like Meta. Maul's an idiot. But I like Meta and Amazon for long term. With that being said, I think we still need a couple of minutes before I go through and show you guys, this new tool and this new feature. Before I go through and show you guys this new feature, does anybody have any questions for me before I get into this? Anybody have any questions? I'll take a couple of questions because in about 5 minutes, we'll show you guys this new function. We'll show you guys this new feature with the AI tool. But I will open things up for a quick Q&A if you guys have anything specific that you want to ask me about. What do you think about Tesla gapping below its previous all-time high? So Tesla got hit today because of poor delivery numbers. But I got to be honest with you, Nicola, I think Tesla bounces. I don't think that the short is in here on Tesla. I think there's enough support in this area, the 360s to 380s. I think there's enough support there that buyers step in and try to bounce. You know, one thing that Elon Musk has said is if you're going to own my stock, don't own it because of how many cars we sell. You know, he said, he's really focusing on the technology side of Tesla now with advanced robotics, self-driving technology, all of that. And this was a very disappointing deliveries number that we got today. It's the first annual decline that we got. So it's not a good number. But you take a look at my chart right now, one thing stands out: support here, previous resistance here at 360, and then here's your 50-day moving average racing higher. So for me, I think that this is an area where the stock bounces. That's what I think. My thoughts on the defense sector. So Rhino, I saw that question. I know that you're in the space, so you have a little bit more insight. I know you're in the industry, so I know you have a little bit more insight to this. But I actually kind of got a little bit more bearish and more neutral on the defense sector in October. So I trimmed, and not trimmed. I mean, I sold. I mean, I still own shares, but I sold big portions of my Lockheed in October. And I announced it, and I'm not a Monday morning quarterback. I announced this to everybody, my teaching members. Everybody all knows that I did this. Like I said, we cover long-term investing as well. So on, I think it was like October 4th, I think it was. I think October 4th, I think, is when I did it. But I sold Lockheed Martin right there in my long-term portfolio at $604. The stock is now $480. I also sold Raytheon Dynamics, same time. I sold Raytheon Dynamics right there. That stock has not fallen anywhere nearly as much. And I also sold General Dynamics. I mean, General Dynamics has really fallen off as well. I sold General Dynamics right there, and now General Dynamics is all the way. I sold General Dynamics at 300. The stock's now at 260. So I sold out of a lot of these military defense companies, and the reason for that is because I believe that the Russia-Ukraine war is going to come to an end in 2025. So I wanted to kind of get ahead of that, and I wanted to kind of start to get out of these positions before that happened. And then now you have this DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. If they're going to be cutting back wasteful spending, I don't know if it's going to come, if that's going to really affect the military, because I don't think that Trump really wants to cut the military budget. If anything, he wants to increase it. So I think that, these stocks maybe could recover and they maybe could bounce, but I'm not looking in this area. I'm not looking in this area for opportunities this year. I'm really focusing on software companies this year. I think that software companies could have their time in their time in the sun, as your semiconductors led the way and your hyperscalers led the way in 23 and 24. But software companies really haven't. I think the software companies like Datadog, Snowflake, Palantir, which Palantir has been one of the best stocks in the market. So I can't really say that they haven't had their time in the sun. They have. But, Oracle, Workday, ServiceNow, AppLovin, there's just a couple of companies. Oof, why is my dad calling me at 9:15? Those are just a couple of software companies. Those are just a couple of software companies that I have my eyes on. All right. Those are just a couple of companies that I have my eyes on. Minimum amount of money to short penny stocks for day trades. That you need at least 25K. Okay, no worries. My dad said it can wait. He said it's not important. Minimum amount of money to short penny stocks is you're going to need over 25K. You need a margin account. And if you want to short them, you don't want to, you're not going to want to have to swing trade those positions. You want to have the ability to day trade them. Like I shorted CTCX today. It was an easy short. I got the borrow through Lightspeed. This was an easy short for me today. I shorted it at $1.14. I covered it at 68 cents. Was an easy short. The resistance level here was just so clear. Yeah, this big gap up. Stock was up 300%. And what I love to do is I love to short stocks that have huge gap ups, but they're still underneath major resistance levels, because you have to realize that it's very difficult for a stock to break a major resistance level and just like a major support level. And when a stock is extended into those levels, it's hard to break it, because you have to think of it like yourself. Like if you had to rock climb a wall, right? Would you be more likely to successfully climb over the wall if you just ran a mile or you just ran 10 yards? Which one do you think you're more likely to have the energy to now climb over this wall? After you've already just run a mile or after you just ran 10 yards? Obviously, after you just ran 10 yards, you have a lot more energy. It's going to be easier for you to climb over that wall. Stocks and major resistance levels are a lot like that. It takes a lot of energy for a stock to break a major level. And when a stock exerts most of its energy leading into that level, that obstacle becomes unpassable on its first try. Usually the stock will pull back off of that level and rest, recharge its battery, consolidate, and then try to break. It'd be like you ran a mile and it's like, hey, sit down for an hour, relax, rest, stretch, have some water, drink some electrolytes, like relax, and then we'll jump over the wall in an hour, right? For the stock example, it would be, all right, you're going to run up into this level. We're not going to break it today. Rest, relax. We'll try again in a couple of days. So when I see stocks gap up, this stock was gapping up 300% into major resistance. I said, when it pops up into this resistance level, and why is it major resistance? Just look at the chart. Support back there, right? You broke it. And then resistance. You tried it again. This was the real telltale sign. You had this huge volume day in October. Look at the volume there. It was a 250 million share day. ran right into that resistance, then got rejected off it. And now you ran right into that level again, but this time the yellow line's there. And what's that yellow line? The 200-day moving average, which is a major level, a major indicator of itself, right? So when we gapped up into this level, I just said, guys, when this thing pops to 120, I'm just going to get short against it. And that's exactly what I did, right? We popped here.
Do it. We're almost ready.
Wait, my volume is down. What's that?
We're almost ready.
What's up, Minna?
That's actually Jay from Jay and Silent Bomb.
That's really good, actually.
Yeah.
It's really good. So here's that resistance level. All right, I'll draw it for you. Well, let's go back to the daily chart. So there it is on the daily chart, right? You guys all see it on the daily chart. I'm not going to move the line. There it is on the daily chart. Now let's go to the 3-minute chart intraday. There it is, right? It's not a coincidence. There's your resistance. Very straightforward. So the market's opened, we pushed, I shorted it right there. I shorted it right there. $1.14. The high of the day is $1.20. And the stock just rolled over. Right? It's rolled over. It's an easy short. But this is something you understand. Not everybody's able to short these, right? You need to get a borrow from your broker. I trade with Lightspeed. Lightspeed's great with borrows. I was able to short this stock for an extremely low fee. It was 0.002 cents per share. So it was a real easy borrow for me. I want to unclog my ear so bad. Anybody else have any questions for me? We're almost ready. So you guys just saw that was Adam. Yeah, Eddie, we do. We do trade futures. We actually have an entire room that's dedicated to futures. We have an entire room dedicated to futures. Mike, how about Kava and Palantir? Two stocks I love. I own them both. I would love a little bit of more of a pullback on both to buy more. I would like a little bit more of a pullback here on Kava into like 100, 105, this little zone I just drew for you. I'd love a pullback into there for a buy zone. And then another buy zone would be around 75 to 80. So these are here, I'll just draw here. Let me just do this. This is easier. Here are all of your major levels on Kava. Okay. These are all there's 5 major support levels on Kava. Okay. I just drew them for you. The first major support level is at 110. 110 is this huge earnings gap up. That was the gap up on earnings. So that creates the earnings gap. And then that gap entry held support for 4 consecutive trading days immediately following earnings. And the stock then rallied to new highs. And you had the exhaustion gap on that earnings release. Then the stock pulled back down into that level. That's support level number 1. Support level number 2 is actually filling and closing that earnings gap, which also lines up with the 200-day moving average. That's at $103. Then you have structure at 98, the previous triple top in May, June, July. That was broken on the earnings break. That now is a support level at 98. And then you have to go all the way back to 72 for your next support level, which is previous resistance, broken, support on the August 5th gap down. The August 5th gap down, the carry trade, the carry trade blow up. This is actually the day we actually bought Kava on this day, August 5th. We bought Kava down here in the low 70s, around $73, $74. And that's another support level. And then last but certainly not least, 58. 58 is huge, 57, whatever. Previous all-time high in August, resistance there again this in 24, broke above it, support, and the stock rallied from there. So here are your 5 major support levels on Kava. I would be a buyer at every single one of these prices. I don't know if you're ever going to see the 57 price again. But if I did, I am absolutely, without any shadow of a doubt, a big buyer if the stock ever got back to that price. Realistically, I don't know if I'm ever going to get there. I did buy the stock right here on this day, and I have no problem buying more of the stock inside of this range right here for Kava. And then Palantir. Palantir is quite simple. It's 45. Let's draw all of your support levels for Palantir. This is fun, right? You guys look how quickly that we do this, right? So there's one level, there's two levels. Okay, so here are your support levels for Palantir. All right, here they are. Here are your support levels for Palantir. Let's actually, we can delete this one. That one's not even, I don't even think you're ever going to see those prices ever again. I mean, I can draw more, like just for the sake of charts, right? Like a charting lesson, but yeah, I'll leave them there for the sake of like a charting lesson. Okay, but if you want to say where are your major support levels for Palantir, 68, 58, 45, 29, and 20. Okay, these are your major support levels for Palantir. Now, where do I get those from? Okay, well, I'm identifying just major price structure. Previous flat top resistance in November, broken, heavy increase in volume on the early trading days of December, and then pullback, retest, support, right? Bang, bang, support. Okay, so there's price structure there at 68, right? Flat top resistance, break with increase in volume, pullback, support, follow through. Excellent. There's level number one. Level number two, multi-day, multi-week flat support, flat bottom level support there at 58. Okay, so there's that price structure there. You guys see at 58. Then we go down a little bit further and you get to the biggest level of them all. 45 is the biggest level of them all for Palantir, not just because of this double top in October, but it's because that is the previous all-time high that was put in place in 2021. So there's your previous 2021 all-time high. You line that up. There's a double top there in October. There's the gap up when it was announced they were being added to the S&P 500. And there's the gap to the new all-time high. And there's the big explosion and the big follow-through. Okay. Well, that was the earnings. That was the earning. One of these, I forgot which one. This might have been the, actually, I think this might have been the, yeah. This was the S&P announcement in September. This was earnings. Yeah, that was earnings. So there's the earnings gap to the new all-time high, and that level was never back tested. So see, once you cleared that all-time high, there was never a pullback into that level to retest it. See how you never got back in to retest that level. I could only pray that the stock pulls back in to retest that level because I would back the ever living mother effing truck up if I ever saw Palantir back at this price. So that is a no-brainer. Don't even think about it. I'm backing up the truck and I'm loading the boat there at 45 to 50 if I ever see that price again. Okay. So I'm hopeful that I can try to maybe get the stock back into this range at some point this year. It might be wishful thinking, but I absolutely would want to be a buyer back in that area. I just don't know if I'm going to get it. But those are the levels there on Palantir. Mike, do you think Kava has a pullback this year for the long-term portfolio? Well, I mean, Kava has already experienced a pullback off the exhaustion earnings gap, right? I mean, the stock has pulled back from 170 to 110. That's a nice pullback. So, I mean, honestly, if you don't own any shares at all, I do think that this is a perfectly acceptable zone to buy some shares and just save some powder in case the stock goes lower, because I would want to be a buyer. The two places I want to be a buyer on Kava would be here and here. So I would say if you don't own any shares, I think here's a nice spot to do it. And then here would be a place to buy more. And the back the truck up level for Kava, if you ever saw it, like the Palantir level is down here at 60. Now, I don't know if you ever see that level ever again. But if I did, back the truck up moment there for me for Kava. But I think you would need a real serious market sell-off or a recession or something for like Palantir to get back to that level, for Kava to get down to that level. I think you would need a real serious decline, which I'm not so sure that we're going to see. NBIS. You know, this is an interesting chart. I actually really like this chart. I don't know enough about the company, so I can't really speak on like long-term portfolio just because it's a new company. I'm not so familiar with them. I know that NVIDIA invested in NBIS. I think NVIDIA put like $700 million into the company. But I don't, aside from that, I don't know enough about the company. The only reason I know about the company is because they're an AI company and, you know, NVIDIA invested into them. I know there's something with like AI, like AI infrastructure in Europe, but I don't know who their CEO is. I couldn't even name their CEO. I don't know any of these things. So I don't have the company in my long-term portfolio, but I do think it's an excellent looking chart. I really do. This is such a great looking chart. Resistance, gap up, massive surge in trading volume. Gap up, support, rally, pullback, support, right? So for me, that's the buy. That was the buy. That whole area is the buy. And you look for NBIS to keep going. So I like what I've seen there. What else you guys got for me? What's a good price for Amazon? Jermaine, I'll get yours next. A good price for Amazon. $190 to $200, I think, is a good price for Amazon. $190 to $200, I think. AMD. Okay, buy points for AMD. One of them was right here in the 120s, which we're still in right now. And then the other real buy point is like down here around 100. So those are buy points there for AMD. So the 120s, which is where we are, and I would say 100. NNE. I don't like NNE as much. This NNE is the one I think that's done a bunch of offerings. It's just choppy. I don't know. It just feels choppy to me. I mean, I think maybe you have support in the low 20s, but right now, just NNE just feels it just feels choppy to me. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of momentum on that name right now. MicroStrategy. The thing that's interesting about MicroStrategy, the no-brainer buy point for MicroStrategy is, 180 to 200. So for me, that's the no-brainer buy is 180 to 200. But there's something about MicroStrategy that does concern me a little bit. It's how leveraged they are with Bitcoin, because we've seen Bitcoin do crazy stuff before, right? You've all seen Bitcoin go down 40, 50%. If Bitcoin were to drop 40 to 50% with how leveraged MicroStrategy is with their position that they own in Bitcoin, I don't know what that's going to do to their financial situation. So that is just something that I'm a little concerned about. Unless I don't know how they're leveraged specifically. I've just heard Michael Saylor say many times, he's like, oh yeah, we did this, we bought Bitcoin and then we're leveraged. And then we're like, he says like, oh yeah, we're leveraging it. And I'm like, all right, well, every single instance when someone has gotten blown up on Wall Street, it wasn't because they were wrong. It was because they were over leveraged. Every time. Every hedge fund that's ever gotten blown up, it's because they were over leveraged, not because they were wrong. Everybody's wrong sometimes. They didn't get blown up because they were wrong, right? Like, what's it called? Melvin Capital didn't get blown up because they were wrong about GameStop. They got blown up and they went out of business because they were too over leveraged. Why did Lehman Brothers go bankrupt? Not because they were wrong about the subprime mortgage crisis, right? It was because they were too leveraged in subprime mortgages. Why did Bear Stearns go under? Because they were over leveraged in subprime mortgages, not because they were wrong about it. So when I hear someone just so nonchalantly say how leveraged they are in an extremely volatile asset like Bitcoin, it's just like, oh, okay, hold on a second. It's like a yellow flag, maybe not a red flag, but it's at least a yellow flag. And if Bitcoin would ever experience another severe drawdown, which who's to say that it won't? We've all seen Bitcoin go down 40, 50% like that for whatever the reason. If that were to happen again, I don't know what that would do to MicroStrategy's situation. So something to consider, something to think about. Any thoughts on NVIDIA? NVIDIA, yeah, I talked about this earlier. I think NVIDIA is at risk this year. I think NVIDIA is at risk. Here's what worries me about NVIDIA. I'll give you the lay of the land. NVIDIA over the last 2 years has gone absolutely bonkers because nobody could keep up with the demand for these chips. Taiwan Semiconductor makes these chips. They can't keep up with the demand for NVIDIA. NVIDIA's high-end chips. When Taiwan Semi says, NVIDIA, great news. We can keep up now. We can meet your demand for your high-end chips. That's not going to be a good thing. That to me is a sell signal. That to me means that the demand for those chips has slowed. The reason where that kind of comes from is an interview that I saw with the CEO of Microsoft. And what the CEO of Microsoft said with regards to their AI build out. He said, verbatim specifically, I'm constrained on power, not on chips. That is like wait a second. You're probably one of NVIDIA's one of their largest users. And you're saying you're not constrained on chip supply? You mean it's not hard for you to get the chips? He's saying I'm constrained on power, which is incomes CEG. CEG is the nuclear power utility company that just signed the 20-year power purchase agreement with Microsoft, where they're going to restart a nuclear power plant, and Microsoft is going to be purchasing the electricity from that power plant for the next 20 years for an agreed upon price in order to fuel their AI operations. So he said, I have a problem finding power, but I don't have a problem in getting chips. That's where this kind of came from. When you hear that from the Microsoft CEO, but then Jensen Huang said in their last earnings that he expects Blackwell chip, the Blackwell chip is their new high-end chip, that he expects Blackwell demand to outpace supply for the next 5 or 6 quarters. That's a very different statement than what the CEO said from Microsoft. Who's right? I don't know. But if the time comes where supply catches up to the demand or demand falls down to the supply and there's more of an equilibrium between chip production and demand, I think then NVIDIA sees a 20% pullback. That could be the reason why you see a 10% or more correction in the market this year. Could you imagine if NVIDIA fell 20%? What's that going to do to the whole AI sector? If everybody feels that there's not as high of a demand for NVIDIA's chips as there was last year, and that the demand is slowing for those chips, what's that going to do to all the AI stocks? I'll tell you, we're going to get the shit kicked out of them. And that'll take the whole market down with it. That could be one of the reasons why we get a pullback in the market this year. Could be. It's one of the things I think is possible. I'm a little, when I see how much money has been spent by the hyperscalers on AI for the last 2 years, without really seeing a productivity or a profitability or a margin or an efficiency result in their earnings yet, I don't know how much longer. And with rates being higher now this year, I keep saying next year, this year than anticipated, I don't know how patient investors are going to be before they start to feel like those stocks are getting a little expensive. So I think that I think NVIDIA is susceptible this year. It's very contrarian. You probably haven't heard many people say that. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe NVIDIA goes to $200 this year. I don't know. But I think that NVIDIA is susceptible this year. All right, guys. So I think we're almost ready here. For us to show you guys this tool that Adam's going to come on and go through with you guys. But what I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about, I want to explain to you really kind of what this is and give you kind of some insight here. And hopefully you guys are going to understand why I'm so excited about this, because there's not anything in the market that really can do what this thing can do. How many of you are familiar with backtesting? How many of you are familiar with backtesting? All right, not too many of you. So you have to know what you're doing in order to effectively backtest. Okay? In order for you to effectively backtest, you have to know what you're doing. And backtesting can be such an incredibly useful resource because it allows you to develop a strategy and put it to the test without having to risk $1 of your own money. It also allows you to very quickly hop from strategy to strategy without wasting a lot of time. Without backtesting, the way that you would test out a strategy is by trading through it. When you trade through it, you're usually going to spend a couple of months trading through that strategy. And if that strategy doesn't work, you just wasted months of your life, and not to mention endless amounts of money that you probably lost during that time period when you realized that the strategy has not worked. What we are going to show you in a couple of minutes is a new capability that our AI tool is able to do with regards to backtesting. When you have a previous backtesting model, now backtesting is not new, right? There's a lot of platforms out there that you can backtest with, but none of those platforms are able to go into extreme detail and the nuances of a specific strategy as if you were executing very specific instructions, not just a buy and sell signal, but factoring in the way that you would manage a position throughout the strategy, meaning where are you taking profit? How much of your position would you be taking profit? And when and where are you moving your stop loss? So you guys have to think of it this way. If you and I both bought 100 shares of a stock at $50 and the stock went to 52 and I sold 25 shares and you sold 75 shares and then the stock dropped to 48 and we both stopped out of the remainder of our position. You are profitable on that trade. I would be red because I only sold 25 shares. You sold 75 when it went to 52. Then it dropped to 48. I sold the other 75. You sold the other 25 that you owned. So when you're going through a lot of these other backtesting platforms, it will account for a buy signal and a sell signal. But what about everything else that takes place in between while you manage your position and you take profit on 25% of your position? Then you take profit on 50% of your position. Then you move your stop loss up. Then you take another piece of profit. Then you move your stop loss up again. It's not able to factor in with the results of that specific adjustment and specific management of a position would look like. So you're not really getting the big full picture of a back testing of a strategy. There's also no platforms out there that you can talk to it with natural language. A lot of people don't understand how to effectively and efficiently back test so that it gives you any meaningful data to help you realize if this strategy is right for you or wrong for you. You can just talk to our backtesting model now. You can just talk to it with natural language. The way that I am talking to you right now is the exact way that you can literally, with your words, speak to our AI. Talk to it about the strategy. What are you trying to accomplish? How much money do you have to start with? What's your profit target goal? When do you move your stop loss? When do you take profits? How do you tear out of your positions? How much money are you comfortable risking in case this doesn't work? What are you looking? What are the triggers? What are the indicators that you're using? What are the signals that you're looking for? You don't understand something, you need the AI to kind of guide you through it. He's, oh, I'm kind of a newbie, but I heard about this strategy, but I don't really know too much about it. Can you help me? The AI knows all about everything because it's trained with all of the material that we trade with, all the moderators, all the education material. It's trained with all of it. So we can do it for you. And you can go through and you can backtest through 15 years worth of data, any strategy that you want. You can backtest it on the SPY, the NASDAQ, on Tesla, on individual stocks, whatever you want to test it on. And I would recommend that you go back and backtest it in different time periods, backtested in bear markets and bull markets, backtested on the SPY, the NASDAQ, on backtest on individual names and stocks as well, so that you can determine what your results would be had you followed this specific plan and this specific strategy. It also can be a really good benefactor for you guys to sit there and say, wow, well, most of the time, the individual trader is the problem. Most of the time, the individual trader is the one that does not follow what they intended to do. They said they were going to buy here and sell here. Instead, they did something totally different because the emotions of the trade got the best of you. You buy and sell because of fear of losing or greed of making, and you don't follow your plan. This now can actually show you if you just followed the strategy and you didn't make emotional decisions, here's what your results would be to a T. That's going to save you endless amounts of money, countless hours, days, months, weeks, whatever, because you're going to be able to go through this now like that. I don't know of any platform or program that has this ability. I don't know a single one. Sure, there's backtesting platforms out there, but none like this. And it just, again, goes to our award-winning AI tool, and we just continue to add new features and new tools and new capabilities to it. That's just going to help our members become better traders and help our members make money. So I'm excited to show this to you guys. I'm really excited to show this to you guys. Adam's going to come on here now. How many members are here? Do me a favor. Type the number 1 if you are a member of True Trading Group. Type the number 1 if you are a member. Why do you not have access to Teach AI even though you're not a member? Because it's not included in your membership, Nicola. The AI tool is not free, brother. A lot of you. A lot of number 1s. Good. Beautiful. So you have a lot of members that are here. Excellent. Wow, look at all you guys. See, I told you guys, we have something massive to show you. And the whole crew comes out for it. I love it. Excellent. So guys, in just a moment, you're going to see, we're going to show you this. I think Adam just deployed it. I think he just deployed it across the AI platform so members would have access to it. So I think we're ready. John, I don't care what you're saying right now. Just sign off the live stream. I really don't, John. People are unbelievable. You have absolutely no concept or understanding of how much that tool costs. So we either charge people for it or nobody uses it at all and it doesn't exist. Choice is yours. It's actually not your choice. It's our choice. And that is why this tool is extremely expensive. And if you think that you're going to operate an AI analysis tool, an AI platform, that's not going to cost an insanely ridiculous amount of money, not to mention how long it's taken us 2 hours and 7 figures to develop it and to build it. And it's a continuous ongoing cost. So it can't just be given to you for free, bro. True Trading Group is a business and it needs to make sense. So you're not getting it for free. So if you don't want it, just don't buy it. Don't use it. Does that answer your I hope that addresses your concerns, John. Yeah, exactly, Mark. It's extremely expensive to run. It's extremely expensive. Adam, how are we doing, brother? I think has the time come? Anybody else have any questions for me about anything? Well, we just wait for the. Here's how cheap you make all. People don't appreciate how cheap you make all the tools for us. Try to find the same somewhere else for 10x the price. Exactly. We can't lose money on the stuff. Like, we can't lose money on these things. It's got to make sense. Snow and Oracle. I actually think Snow in like the 140s to 150s is a decent spot. There, Mo Life says, I was skeptical of the AI tool, but by far the best investment so far. Very helpful daily. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, I think the 140s to 150s, Gabriel, could be a decent spot. And then you have just a massive support level down around like 110. Hopefully Snowflake doesn't get back to 110. If it does, it probably goes lower. But I think that's a decent spot for Snowflake. And then for Oracle, Oracle, a great spot is the 130s, I would say. I'd say the 130s is a great spot. And then also like 110, 105 is another spot. So like two spots for Oracle, I'd say, is here and here. Those are going to be the two really great spots, I would say. Your dad's looking to buy Rivian. ROIV. I have no idea what I've never heard of ROIV, so I don't know anything about it. So I really couldn't give you any opinion on it. I'm not familiar with that company. Rivian. I gotta be honest with you. I hate electric vehicle stocks. I always have. I don't own any of them except Tesla. I never have owned any except Tesla. I don't have any intentions of owning any except Tesla. But if you really wanted to own one and you're going to take a flyer on it, Rivian, I guess, can be the flyer. Yeah, like I like Rivian more than I like Lucid. But I personally don't intend on buying it. If you're going to buy it, so from a charting standpoint, Nicola, I actually think it's kind of geared up right now for a move higher. And the reason for that is just the chart. I'll show you what I'm looking at on the chart. So I think you could maybe even have like a long-term swing trade, even if it's not like a long-term hold, but like a long-term swing trade. And I'll just show you real quick. So you had obviously the huge gap down, but prior to that gap down, this level has been a huge level. So there's previous support in 2023. Then you gapped underneath it in 24, and it became resistance. Then you gapped above it in June, and then it became support. Then you broke it. Then it became resistance. Then you broke back above it. And now it's once again support. But the thing that's interesting this time around, and you can see just every time the stock gets to this price, there's a major impact on the stock. But what's different this time around is this. All three of your major moving averages are $12. The 100, the 200, and the 50-day moving average are all at 12. So you've got the potential of a golden cross happening here. The last time you had a golden cross was right there in August, but it failed. It wasn't able to actually sustain itself. It failed. So this could be maybe the first, this could be a true golden cross that could possibly take Rivian to the upside and get Rivian back up into the 20s maybe and give you a really nice trade. But from a long-term investment perspective, I don't own Rivian. I personally don't plan on owning it. And then you said, what about SoFi? SoFi, I do own. And I think this is actually a decent spot to try to buy it. You can see previous support back there in 21, broke it, got back above it. Now it's potentially a level of support. And if that level does not hold, your next support level is going to be down here around 1150. So these are 2 buy points for SoFi. I think SoFi is a mid-20s stock. Fast forward a couple years from now, I think it's in the mid-20s. Do I plan to own Tesla long-term like NVIDIA? Will you sell Tesla at some point or will you buy more at certain levels? I'm not selling Tesla. I intend on owning Tesla for as long as Elon Musk is the CEO. As long as Elon Musk is the CEO, I'm going to own Tesla. All right, guys. Well, I'm not sure what's going on right now. I just drank. This is elderberry. This was elderberry tea. I'm just finishing it. You said drink ginger tea. This is elderberry. All right. Let me know. Why is that with Tesla? So, Jim, it's because Tesla does not trade on an auto manufacturer multiple. It trades on a high growth tech company multiple. And I believe that the reason why that is the case is because of the creative genius and the innovation behind Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the most brilliant man of our generation. He is the Leonardo da Vinci. He is the Benjamin Franklin of our generation. He will be the world's first trillionaire. And he's going to accomplish that by building some of the most valuable companies this world has ever seen. Every single thing that this guy sets out to accomplish and sets out to build, he succeeds at. Between starting and building out PayPal, where he made and selling that, where he made his first hundreds of millions, then Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, Burrow. I was just having a conversation about Burrow and how he should be like an MVP candidate with the year that he's having. But XAI, Twitter, I mean, it's like the list just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I don't know how he even has I don't even know how he's capable of running Tesla and SpaceX. Never mind Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, Neuralink, Bohr, XAI, Twitter. Like, I don't even know how it's possible that he could do that, but he somehow is able to do it. And I'm not dumb enough to ever bet against him. So whatever he's involved in, let's do it. let's go. Let's do it. But the second that he steps away, like let's go back in time and let's look at like worst possible scenario, right? The board and the shareholders did not approve his compensation package. And he's like, all right, well, you know what? I'm just going to go work on everything else. I'm going to step down as CEO of Tesla. Right. Remember that whole thing was going on with his compensation package, and people were like worried. Oh no, if it doesn't get passed, Elon Musk might, because he was so busy with everything else. What if Elon Musk, worst case, Elon Musk like, all right, well then hell with you. If you're not going to give me my pay package, then I'm just going to leave. I think Tesla stock would have fallen 50% like that. And without Elon Musk, without his creativity, and without his innovation, without his tech mind, Tesla would work its way to a car company. And if Tesla were to be a car company, it sure as hell would not be trading at 130 times earnings. So that's why. Is it a good time to buy Tesla? I don't think so. I think Tesla is, it's so funny that I'm about to say this. I think Tesla's expensive because literally Tesla has been expensive for the last 10 years. It's literally been expensive for the last 10 years. But the stock keeps going higher. It could be an okay place to buy Tesla chart wise, but I just think I'm not buying it up here. I just think that the valuation is pretty stretched. I mean, the stock went crazy because Trump won the election, and everybody knows like how close Elon Musk is to Trump. So the stock went crazy, and I think that was like an unsustainable move. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Tesla like back to like 300 or 320. I think that would be a better place to probably buy it. But you're going to need a pullback in the market for this stuff to happen. Can you please share your thoughts about SPY? You think it will bounce tomorrow? Do you think it will retest 602 all-time high in a couple of weeks before a deeper pullback? That's a great question. I do think we try to bounce tomorrow, but I think it's more likely that we get a deeper pullback before we make a new all-time high. So what I think you could see happen is, here's what I think you could see kind of pan out is like you could try to bounce from here, and then it might look like we're going to do it. We're going to make that all-time high. And then you're going to get rejected pretty heavily. And then that's going to be that'll be a confirmed lower high. And then this support level that held today breaks. That's what I think you're going to see. So I think we're going to try to bounce from here, get up to like 600, 602, and then reject it back to 590, back down 5, break 580, and then roll down, into this area here. Yes, it is, Jarrett. Good eye. Good eye. Jera Rafa says, speaking of the SPY, is that a head and shoulders? Yes, you are correct. It is. Good eye. So there's left shoulder, there's right shoulder, and there's the head. Any swing trade opportunities that I'm watching? Not right now. I'm gonna usually. Tomorrow's Friday. I'll see how tomorrow goes, and then I'll come in Sunday night. I'm going to go live on Sunday night like we always do, and I'll give you guys the game plan for next week, and then I'll have some swing trade ideas for you guys then. Nice, Sean Johnson. Mike, my trip to the Poconos was amazing. Now the fam wants something bigger this year. Of course they do. So Sean Johnson was able to pay for his entire family to go to the Poconos for the holidays. Was able to use trading profits for that. So I'm happy for you, man. That's a special thing that you do there with your family, and I'm happy that you were able to use trading profits to pay for it. Those are memories that'll last forever. So I'm glad you guys had a great time. Mike, do you think you can go over how to manually backtest the strategy so people can see how difficult manually doing it is before we see the AI version? Well, for you to manually do it is insane. Without some type of technology or platform to do it is actually insane. I mean, you literally have to go back and with your own, go back through charts and go back through years of charts and see where a buy and sell signal would have been based on your strategy and see what the results would have been. That would take you forever. That would literally take you forever. Nice. Just pulling up to the mountains here in Tennessee. When you trade a TT triangle, how low should you have your stop loss? So, Nicola, that's not really the right way to ask the question, because your stop loss needs to be where it belongs based on the levels, not where you want it to be. What I mean by that is you might hear some other traders on YouTube be like, oh, set your stop loss at 4%. The hell is 4%? Oh, set your stop loss at 1.5%. What the hell is 1.5%? It's a made up number. It's completely arbitrary. You just randomly picked it out of thin air. There's no relevance to the stock whatsoever. On one stock, a 4% stop loss might be way too much. On another stock, a 4% stop loss might be way too little. So your stop loss, once you identify the support level, Nicola, you then have to determine how wide the support level is. And the more volatile the stock, the wider that level is. And that's our job to determine how wide the level actually is. So if you said, oh, there's a support level at $20, that support level could be 50 cents wide. So you can't put your stop loss at $19.90 if the support level is 20. The stock can drop to 1978 and then go back to 21, and the $20 support level is still held. It's still intact. Support levels are not prices, they're areas, they're zones. We have to determine how wide those zones are. So if you're referring to the TT triangle, you're using the initial morning high and maybe a VWAP or a 38.2 Fibonacci level that are lining up in the same area. So that's your support level. So your support level has to be underneath that, not at it, underneath it, and clearly underneath it to allow for that little bit of wiggle room. Chromatic says it took me a couple weeks to enter backtesting data for just 3 months of one of my strategies. It's insanely difficult by hand. It really is. It is incredibly difficult by hand. There's a ton of room for error. It's just like there's so many mistakes that you can make and are going to skew your results. I want to know why Mike doesn't do 0DT. He only trades equities because I don't need to trade options. I don't trade options myself personally because I love equities. So much easier for me. I also have the account size to trade equities. A lot of people don't have the account size to trade equities, so that's why they trade options. But with options, you have time decay. You have implied volatility, gamma, vega, all these different Greeks that suck the premium out of an option contract. You have wide spreads with options. You have lower liquidity with options. So for me, you also have to realize that I began my trading career working at a hedge fund, and I was an equities trader. So I learned trading equities. Therefore, I got comfortable with equities, and I've always been an equities trader. So, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same stuff. Like, just because someone's trading an equity and somebody else is trading an option, you're not doing anything differently. You're just using a different security to capitalize on the same move. Like I can say Meta's going higher, and I'm going to buy 2,000 shares of Meta because I think Meta's going higher, and that's what I'll do. And you might go and buy a 600 strike call option at $3. Like, we both think the stock's going higher, and we're both going to make money when the stock goes higher. You're not going to make more money than me trading the option. I think that's the big misconception that a lot of people have. People are like, oh, I'm going to trade the option because, or like, Mike, can't you make a lot more money in the option than the equity? If you have a small account, yes. If you have a large account, no. Because, I can, I have much larger position size in an equity than I would an option. You buy an option contract, you're probably losing, at least 30% on the option if you're wrong. Sometimes you might lose 40 or 50% if you're wrong. If you're trading a 0DTE minimum, you're losing 50%. Unless you're a scalper, you lose less. But like, you're talking about 20, 30% easy that you're going to lose. I'll never lose 30% on an equity ever. So, it's like, yeah, you might lose 30% on the option, but then you can make 100%. It's all relative. Like, you'll risk 30% to make 100%. That's no different than me risking 3% to make 10%. It's the exact same thing. And you might have a $10,000 position, or you might have a $1,000 position that if you lose 30%, you're going to lose $300. And if you make 100%, you're going to make $1,000, right? But I might have a $100,000 position. And if I lose 3%, I'll lose $3,000. If I make 10%, I'll make $10,000. So it's not that I'll never put $100,000 into an option, because if you lose 30%, that's $30,000 that you're going to lose. So it's all relative to position size. One's not better than the other. I mean, unless you have a small account. You have a small account, you have to trade options. And we teach you how to trade options if you have a small account. But if you're somebody that has a large account, I always tell trade equities. You don't have to worry about time decay. Which TT triangle trade are you talking about, Nicola? Which TT triangle trade are you referring to? There isn't one on NNE. You'd have to give me an example. I don't know one off the top of my head that I can just pull up and go look at. Yes, Lemuel, we will. I will. I'm hoping that I can get my 2025 Outlook report published for you guys by next week. I'm just been, the last couple of weeks have been crazy. I had family staying at my house. I've had people at my house for the last like 2 weeks. Then my wife got sick, and now I'm sick, and it's been, I haven't had time. I haven't been able to finish it, but I'm hoping I can probably get it to you guys for next week. No worries. I know everybody looks forward to it. I know everybody looks forward to the Outlook report. We've had just some amazing. The last 5 years have just been incredible. Can you talk about the Carvana short report from Hindenburg? Is Carvana toast? Carvana might have some issues. And it's funny that this report came out today because a friend of mine who's in the car business like 2 months ago said to me something about Carvana with like Carvana being in trouble with like lawsuits and stuff for not paying the people that they were buying the cars from because they kind of got caught upside down on some of the cars. And there were like some lawsuits that nobody really knew about. And he actually kind of told me about it. And then now the short report came out. I have not read the short report, Lou, so I don't know exactly what Hindenburg Research is alleging. I haven't read the report, but I have felt that Carvana was extremely overvalued for a long time. The stock just kept going higher because there was a big short position on the stock and it kind of got squeezed out a little bit. But I do think there's more room to the downside on Carvana. When you give the analysis for SPY, do you reference for days, weeks, or months? All of the above. All of the above, Gabriella. All of the above. No, Mike, you push yourself today to trade with us. Please get some rest. I will. I'll get some rest. But what we have is so incredibly impressive, guys, that I really want to. Hopefully, we can show it to you guys. I really want to. I know Adam was going through the last deployment of the tool through the AI system for all of our members on the platform. So hopefully we can get that up so we can show you guys this. I'm so excited about it because it doesn't exist. That's what I'm trying to. I don't think people understand. Like I've been doing this for a long time. I know what's out there. I know what's not, and there's nothing out there that exists that can do something like this. I can't right now, Rui. But Rui, I mean, if you reach out to customer support, they can help you with it. I think everybody should have our AI tool. I mean, there is a reason why we received the Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. And, every single AI bot, every AI chat, every AI platform that you guys can think of, was there. FinChat and Trade Algo and all of these other companies that some of you may or may not heard of that have like AI analysis tools, none of them can compete with what it is that we have developed. They really can't. I'm not just saying that because it's ours. Like when I say that, I know it's probably hard for you to believe me if you don't know me, but I'm not just saying that because, I own True Trading Group and it's like, it's our tool and it's our platform. And that's why I'm saying it. I've been doing this for 18 years. And when I say something like that, I'm talking to you from one trader to another, that I have probably tried at least 10 of these like AI tools from like other companies. None of them are even close. None of them are even close. Thanks, Rui. I appreciate that. At what amount would you consider to be large enough amount to stop trading equities and consider going equity only, to stop trading options? Consider going. That's a great question, Chris. So Chris's question is, how much money is enough to trade equities and stop trading options? So Chris, that answer is different for every trader based on your risk tolerance. So how do you know you need enough money? The answer is, you're saying how much money? Enough money that you can get the position size required to get to your risk tolerance. So let's say your risk tolerance, Chris, was $300. If your risk tolerance is $300, that means when you enter a trade, if you're wrong, you're okay losing $300. Okay, let's use that as the example. If you were to buy a stock at $50 and say your stop loss is $48.50, then you've got to figure out now, how many shares do I buy so that if I get stopped out at $48.50, I'm going to lose exactly $300. It's a very simple mathematical calculation. You take your risk tolerance, which is 300 in this example, divided by the difference between your entry and your stop loss. So if you bought the stock at 50 and your stop loss is 48.50, that's 50 minus 48.50. That's $1.50. So you would do 300, your risk tolerance, and you would divide it by $1.50. The answer is 200. So you would have to buy 200 shares at $50, which is $10,000. So you would need $10,000 to buy 200 shares at 50. And if you get stopped out at 48.50, you lose exactly $300. Okay? That's just an example. Now, if you bought a stock, let's say you $200 a share, and your stop loss was $196, you're risking $4. So 200 divided by 200 minus 196 is $4. 300 is your risk tolerance. 300 divided by $4, entry to stop loss, right, is 75 shares. 75 shares times $200 is 15,000. So if you bought 75 shares at 200 and you stopped out at 196, you're losing exactly $300. But that trade, you would need 15 grand. Oh, man. Do I think Apple is going below 240 by January 10th? Clearly, somebody has a $240 strike put option that expires on January 10th. I do, but I don't think it stays there. So I think Apple's going to go to like 238 and then bounce. So I think that you're going to drop into this level and then you're going to bounce from there. All right, guys, good news. I think we are ready. I think Adam is ready.
Bro.
There he is.
How many members are still on here right now?
I don't know.
Why don't you ask?
Guys, if you are a member, go ahead and type the number 1, please. Let's see how many of you are still hanging around. So go ahead and type the number 1 so we see how many people that we still have here, please.
I really can't believe I got this to work. Big shout out to Uni for helping me out earlier. Her and I were working on this. We were able to quite literally, she works with members. She works with members to go ahead and build backtesting strategies by hand. And we were able to duplicate all that to the point where she was like, yo, you need to send me that immediately because it's going to save her an incredible amount of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this quick, and then I will show tomorrow. I'm going to debut this for members.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, I've gone ahead and I've tried to think about where, like where you would go to like backtest this stuff and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of different backtesting places, stuff that, different stuff that exists or whatever, but you have to really know what you're doing in order for it to work. Like really, really know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, then it's obviously not going to work, right?
Right.
Or you're going to have to spend hours and hours watching YouTube videos and all sorts of stuff, right? So it's not easy, but it is one of the most useful tools that you can do is to backtest strategies and to come up with your own strategies. And people do this for years. People will sit there and backtest a strategy and fine tune something for years before they're able to, get it right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we have been able to do, or what we have done here is pretty incredible. And I'll tell you why. Instead of having to sit there and learn how to backtest something, you can now use natural language and describe what it is that you want to do. Or if you're somebody that already knows how to backtest, you can go ahead and you can get as specific as you would like. And it is all dynamic. So what do I mean by that? And I'll show you right now. Hang on, I'm just loading my screen up.
I'll take mine down.
No, it's okay. Oh, this is so cool. All right, yeah, this all works. And what's cool about what I'm about to show you is that we can do it for options, multi-leg options, considering every variable, futures, crypto, and stocks. Let that sink in for a second.
Wow. Crypto too.
Well, I mean, futures is big.
Wow.
All right. So let me. All right. Yeah, we got it. So now I'm going to go over here. Let me share my screen. All right. Excellent. Why won't it? All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. So what you're looking at is our AI interface, right? And I'm going to show you a quick example that Uni gave me. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a complicated example, but I'll also show you a simple one too. And I'll show you two of these, and then we're going to get off. And tomorrow during the day, all members, I'm going to show you guys this tool. And then this weekend, I'm going to show you guys how to use this at the boot camp.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I'm going to say something. I already have the prompt ready, but I'll read it to you just so that you can get an idea, right? It's create a, I can't speak apparently, create this strategy, right? Backtest a strategy on Apple from January 1st, 2023 to January 1st, 2024. And we'll just leave that in there. It's fine. Starting with $10,000 and risking 2% per trade. The strategy should identify higher low patterns using a 5-day look back period and enter long positions when the price moves 20% above the second higher low. For exits, use a 2-target approach where the first target is the previous daily high, moving stop loss to break even when hit. And the second target is the high of 3 consecutive bullish candles. Place initial stop losses 1% below the entry candle's low. This strategy should focus on exclusively on long positions and aims to capture upward momentum after higher low formations while maintaining strict risk management through position sizing. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So click. So now what it's going to do first is it's going to create the strategy and it's going to store it, right? So now look, it's creating the strategy. It created the strategy. And then automatically, it's now going to run the back test on the strategy given those parameters, right?
And guys, so like what Adam gave, like the strategy Adam just gave it is just one example of a strategy.
Well,
right?
it just, yeah, I mean, well, no. Yeah, that's a very specific thing. And then it's going to make that strategy and then it's going to back test it.
Right.
So now it ran the strategy and now it's going to analyze it. So our total return using this strategy was 98.13%. Annualized return was 98.50. Number of trades was 33. Maximum drawdown was 11.23. The risk adjustment return was 8.74. The profitability was obviously very good. It was a 5 times overperformance against the target. The risk management was well within the acceptable limits. It was 11.23%. The 2% risk parameter per trade helped maintain consistent position sizing. And average of 2 to 3 trades per month, 33 trades over 12 months, mix of quick wins and longer held. Biggest wins, it'll show you the exact dates, right? These are the notable trades. Largest drawdowns, strategy effectiveness, right? The 5-day look back period for higher lows, right? In the category of all questions are okay, how does backtesting help us? It's kind of not necessary in any similar impact in the future.
That's
just
true at all.
Just ignore it.
Well, yeah, they don't understand. Yeah, they're not. You're literally testing a strategy.
Google it. Fuck it. Google it.
This isn't. You're not, Drew. You're assuming that a successful trader is someone that just predicts the future.
Brother, I'm tired. Please don't waste your time on this. Just tell them to Google it.
Yeah. Google it. Drew.
Google why is backtesting important. Recommendations, right? It's going to give you live recommendations. Keep 2 target two target exit strategy, 2% risk per trade sizing, higher low pattern identification methodology, consider adjusting, monitor, and then the conclusion of it, right? So now I can say something like, very cool, now run the same strategy for NVIDIA. See, now it knows our strategy, and then we can even iterate over that strategy, and we can make changes, and we can, refer back to it, and we can create as many strategies as we want. We can adjust the time frames. We can see every trade that was executed. So here, it just executed it for NVIDIA.
And this is a very specific strategy, guys, that one of our professional trader mods.
And if you look at this real quick, guys, it's also going to go ahead and it's going to give you the comparison to all the ones that you were testing.
Wow,
right?
It compares it.
Pretty cool, So yeah.
Like some people understand what this thing just did would have taken somebody months to do.
Here, we can try a simple example now. This is one that you and I had tried earlier, Mike.
Oh yeah, this is an easy, simple. This is one that that was an example that a trader that kind of knows what they're doing would have created that strategy. So that was Uni, one of our moderators. She created that strategy. It's actually a big part of her own trading strategy that she implements in her own trading. And then that was the back test of that strategy. So that was very specific. Then this next example is going to be a very broad example, someone that does not have 20 years of experience that would try to be looking for a more basic strategy.
Right. All right, hang on. Let me. One sec. All right, here, we'll just do it like this. Hi, I have $5,000 and I want to create a strategy that allows me to make about 20% per year. I want to use it for Apple, and I want to backtest this strategy from January 1st, 2023 till December 31st, 2024. And I am willing to be somewhat aggressive, but I really don't want to lose at any point. I don't want to be in a position to lose more than $1,500. I can trade probably a couple times a month, maybe a couple times a week at the very most. So I guess take that information and then build me a strategy and then explain what you built and why, and then ask me my permission to then run that strategy. All right, Mike, can you read this or would you agree with it?
I actually can't see it.
Can you pull it up?
Well, now that you just made it bigger, I can see it now. Okay.
All right, scroll down.
Buy up on a forms a higher low pattern over a 7-day period and the RSI is below 40, indicating oversold conditions but maintaining up momentum. Modify the estimate with the above average line is 2 times. Yeah, that's a good strategy. Previous spring high. Scale out, sell 60% target. Well, that's okay. It's a conservative strategy, selling 60% of target 1, moving south to break even, let 40% run to target 2. So that is a conservative strategy, most likely because it's trying to protect the capital of a smaller account. Yeah, let's see what it says.
Okay. So it just created the strategy. Oh, or it's going to in a second. Yep, it just got it.
So it just, based on what Adam just said to it, guys, and there was no specifics there, he asked the AI to make a strategy for him. And then he was like, hey, here's a strategy that could work for you. And I was like, okay, yep, that looks good. Now let's back test it. Now it's going through and using that strategy, implementing it over that time period for Apple. And then now it's going to give us the result. What would the result be if we implemented that strategy?
And there you go.
Shows you what here's the losses, here's the wins, areas for potential improvement. Even goes over like, hey, based on what the that's one thing that I absolutely love. So it's like based on the back test results, here's areas that you can probably improve on the strategy. Now we're running it again for AMD. And that's the thing. When you find the strategy that you like and that's working, you can run it against all of these different ticker symbols to see if you would still get a similar result. And that's a 48% return. Talks about position sizing, stop loss modification. So like when to move your stop loss to protect your profits while still letting the position ride. So in case you guys can't see, it says, can you show me all the trades? Adam's typing. Can you show me all the trades that were executed in a table format, entry and exit with comments as to why? And there they are.
No, I think the guy earlier was right. This should probably be free. Look at that. That is pretty wild, my guy.
It's incredible, dude. It's just incredible.
Wait, would you like me to suggest modifications to the trades? Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah. So now based on the back test results, it is making an adjustment to the strategy for better efficiency.
Oh, here, that's a good question, actually. So here, let's put it on the screen, Reaper trades. Here, hang on. you typing to me?
No.
Oh. It just built us a short selling strategy now. I don't think anyone's ever seen anything like this.
I never have. So I don't know if anybody else has, but I sure as hell haven't.
So it just built 3 strategies based on that. And it'll show you now here. Let's see. Here, I'll just tell it. You pick. It's 10:52, but I'm gonna get off right now, babe. This is absolutely insane. I don't know. Members, what do you think?
What do you guys think so far? We'll go over this. We'll go over this tomorrow too. This is going to be a huge help. This is going to be a huge help. I told you guys we had something really, really awesome to show you. So I'm glad you guys stuck around and hung out with us. You know, I know it's super late, so I appreciate you guys being here. We're excited to get this out and launched, and we'll go over more tomorrow with you guys. And then Adam's going to show people with the boot camp this weekend how to implement it even further.
Yep. So this is not available right now, and the amount of work that went into this, I can tell you right now that this is not going to be free tomorrow. There will be a small cost for this, as there should be.
Yeah.
If you're an all access member, you don't have to pay for it. Everyone else, if you want it, there will be a small fee for this. So the amount of, work that has gone into this is insane. And if you're not a member, this is probably something that we will sell to non-members independently on a separate platform. Correctly.
Yeah.
Would you create a more detailed entry exit checklist for either strategy? Jesus Christ. This is backtesting on steroids. This is custom strategies. And I'll show you one more thing before we go. Okay? Look at that. Look at that checklist it's making for you. All right, you ready for this? Watch this. Last part.
No, Mama Duke, thank you very much, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
I love you.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Oh, I was also just saying thank you. She sent something for Laura. so I was saying thank you.
Oh my God, you sent an amazing card with an awesome Hanukkah candle as well. Thank you so much, Kathleen. I meant to send you a text.
Yeah, Kathleen, thank you very much.
All right, here, last one. We'll say.
I'm gonna go drink out of the sink.
Okay. What was I gonna do?
I honestly don't even know.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, me too, dude. I feel terrible too. I'm ready to go to bed.
Anyways. Oh, one more thing.
I'm gonna get sick.
Here, let me just do this real quick, and then I might as well.
Are you tired?
Extremely.
That means you can't show me videos on the internet.
No, we will.
Yay! You know Frozen 3 is coming out?
No, I didn't. Hang on one second. What was it?
Because you don't know anything.
Shh.
Just kidding. Ow.
053754. Stop. No, I'm not.
Excuse me. Still polite.
All right, so what I just did is I connected my brokerage account. It's a paper trade account, but we'll just go from here, and I will go back over here to this page we're on, and then let me make sure it's in there. Yep, my Robinhood and my Alpaca is in there, and I will just say analyze all the trades and positions in my Alpaca paper trade account and help build a strategy around my trades and specifically my strong suits. There you go, bud. It's going to now analyze my entire portfolio. Oh. Epic fail. Well,
Can't speak.
you get the
We'll
idea.
show them tomorrow. That's fine.
I'll show you tomorrow, but you get the idea.
It's portfolio, not
Shut up.
You shut up.
All right. No.
I'm not. Maybe I'm trying to get my slime.
Stop.
My
All right, guys. Anyways, I'll show you tomorrow, but it can and does consider your trading. And that's the cool, that to me is unbelievable, right?
Awesome.
Look, he's your biggest fan.
Who's my biggest fan?
Me.
All
No, I'm just kidding. I thought that said, thank you. Oh.
All right, folks.
That's it, guys.
Yep. Guys, hope you are excited for it. We'll show you guys more tomorrow. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight.
Y'all are
Those of you that are not members,
be members.
Sign up for a trial.
Tell them, Minna. Tell them. Wake up.
Be members so I can go to camp.
Be members so Minna can go to camp.
Don't you want me to go to camp?
Stop.
Don't you guys want Minna to go to camp? And so you guys can make money. You guys make money. Minna goes to camp. Everybody's happy.
It's a win-win.
I was gonna say that.
All right, folks. I'm out of here.
Be
All right.
members.
So we'll go over this tomorrow in detail. We'll record it. I have all the
Data.
information for I have all the information for the boot camp this weekend. So anyways, guys, smash the like button, share the video,
Yeah.
but
Join the
Turn
trial.
your post notifications and subscribe. And subscribe to Sunny X Misty. She's the best.
Nobody gets free promo on here, Minna.
No, it's not actually. She's a YouTuber.
Yeah, we're good.
She's my
All right, guys. ttgtrial.com if you guys want to try us out. Trade with us for 7 days. The weekends don't count, so you don't have to worry about Saturday and Sunday eating into your 7 days. It's 7 trading days. So you can go to ttgtrial.com, name, email, phone number, click yes, I want this, fill out the form, get your butts in chat. It's free, no credit card required. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys later. Take care, folks.